Let's do an illustration on diminishing returns. There was a city in Ekurhuleni called Tsakane, and in that city lived a man called Dumisani. One day, Dumisani was very thirsty and he saw a lady carrying what looked like water. So he approached her and asked her for water. And this lady said to Dumisani, "All right, let's see how much you're willing to pay for it. This is my water and you want it." Dumisani was so surprised by this lady's reaction. In actual fact, he was so shocked he wasn't sure if he wanted to speak to her anymore. He can't be paying for this water. I mean, they're in a city, they have taps everywhere, and this is probably tap water that she has in a cup. What's the value of tap water in a cup? So maybe Dumisani just wanted the convenience. There's water here, maybe you can share. Otherwise, I'll have to drink water when I get home later. This is pretty much normal. An average person would have reacted the same way and thought, I'm not sure if I'm even willing to pay 1 rand for this water in a cup that she just got from a tap. Now, let's change things a little. Suppose Dumisani was in a desert and Dumisani has been here for 5 days straight. It's a hot place and Dumisani is very thirsty. He has looked around for days and didn't find any sign of water at all. Now he meets the water lady. Out of nowhere, this lady appears with a cup that is full of tap water that anybody can get from an average tap. And Dumisani is asking for some water. Same response, this lady says, "Hi Dumisani, how much are you willing to pay for it?" I suppose even if you were Dumisani, your response would be very different. And this lady, let's say she's a business lady, and all she wants is to maximize her benefit or profit. And now Dumisani says, "Okay, how much do you want?" And the lady says, "Give me everything you've got. I want all the cash in your pockets. I want all the valuables that you have. Then I will give you my cup of water." Guess what? For the same cup of water, Dumisani is now prepared to pay everything he's got just to drink that water. The same water that in the previous example was not very valuable much. And now Dumisani is very happy to have this water. Now, the lady has seen that Dumisani is very happy and he's willing to pay so much for the water. But most importantly, he doesn't know where to find it. So, business idea. This lady goes and finds more water for Dumisani. And Dumisani says, "Oh, but I don't have any more cash. I gave you everything I've got." The lady says, "No, it's okay. You will owe me." And the one cup was so satisfying, but it was not enough because Dumisani has been thirsty for over 5 days. So he agrees to be indebted to this lady. He values this water so much that he is willing to do anything in the future so that he can have the water now. He takes the water. This lady brings even more ice water. Oh, Dumisani is so happy because I mean he wasn't sure when he was ever gonna see water again. Now, this lady is clever enough to see that there's business here, so she brings water in tons to Dumisani. Now, the agreement is that Dumisani needs water. This lady's just going to sit there and feed Dumisani water constantly. Now, there is a concept here that says we know that Dumisani had the highest level of satisfaction when he drank his first cup of water. The second, third, and fourth were also very satisfying because Dumisani hasn't had water. Probably about 3 or 4 liters of water were thirst quenching and very satisfying. Now, as Dumisani drinks even more water, the next 10 liters of water or so are no longer as thirst quenching or as satisfying as the first one. Now, at some point, Dumisani says to this lady, "Oh, I owe you too much now. I don't want to owe you any more than this. So we can stop here." Now, if we have to think about what's been happening with Dumisani's satisfaction, just the satisfaction. Let's say if we were to say this is satisfaction and this is the number of glasses that he was consuming. As he started consuming the first one, he got the maximum satisfaction. And he got the first liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, 4. But now the next 10 liters didn't give her as much satisfaction as the first one. And the next one also was not that much satisfactory. Now, as he continues, there's a time when the satisfaction is no longer going to be increasing, it'll be the same. And if you continue to consume the same thing even more, it might actually even decline. Now, when he moved from the first one, let's say, to the second glass, he got so much satisfaction. Let's say that's the first liter, or whatever units you want to count. The illustration here is that there is a lot of satisfaction at the beginning, and then as he moves to the next one, there's still extra satisfaction there, but it's declining. And then at some point, it doesn't even increase by much. So that's what we call diminishing marginal returns. It's like you are still adding, so there's benefit, but you are adding at a slower rate. So you are adding less than what you had before. So your whole balance is still going up, but you keep contributing less and less as you go, until you get to a point where you start taking away. So it's like if you had to travel between 2 points, you can take off at a very fast speed and then slow down as you go. You're still making progress, right? You're still approaching your destination, but you keep you keep covering more distance at an even slower speed, and you might get to a point that you even stop moving at all, or even start reversing back if if you don't change your actions. So the concept here says that there is reducing extra satisfaction that you are getting. So that's why it's called diminishing marginal returns. It's the reducing number of extra satisfaction you are getting from consuming the same product. And this happens with any product that you can think of out in the market. So if you consume more of the same, you get to a point where you value that less than you did the first time you needed it or the first time you wanted it. So we then use numbers to allocate to that satisfaction for us to be able to demonstrate that in a graph. So basically, as a concept, this is the diminishing marginal returns. The satisfaction that Dumisani got out of the first water, he was willing to pay for everything. But as he consumed more water, there was a time when he was not even willing to owe anybody for another glass of water. So he started saying, no, that I don't want any more. If you allocate that satisfaction to the amount of money he wants to pay, because that's how you show the value, you will see that he's actually getting much less satisfaction, meaning he's even not willing to pay that much anymore. So, so if we get that concept, even without doing the mathematics, we'll be able to go through the concepts of diminishing marginal returns or utility. Now, in the economics concept, that is linked to a budget. We're going to draw a budget line at a later stage. A budget line just says how much can we afford, and the equilibrium is where your satisfaction is affordable. You maximize that because sometimes there's higher satisfaction, but it's not achievable or it's not affordable. But we'll go through the examples of those aspects. This is the concept of diminishing marginal returns.